Chess Hub Championship, OldPalHappy versus ghostfacedpatzah, aka David252525. And so there were already 9 matches played, and I'm going to commentate over the longer and more interesting games and only skim the shorter games. Basically, they've already played 9 matches, but I think they're going to 12 matches, something like that. But okay, let's talk about the first game here. And note on the side that every game will be played at white's perspective. E4, E5, Ruy Lopez, A6. Yeah, D6 is a bit unusual because because after C3 the bishop has a choice of going to C2 right away as opposed to bishop B3 in the main line. For example, knight F6, castle, bishop E7, rook E1 threatening bishop takes C6 because, for example, after castle you can take and win a pawn. Now, there's no tricks in terms of winning the pawn back. For example, this white's better. So instead, black plays B5 right away, and now the bishop's on B3. And in these lines, white usually goes C3. How do I make an arrow? What happened? Okay, white plays C3 and then bishop C2 later. But after this move D6, you can play C3. Okay. Well, I learned my lesson. I'm not going to use the touchpad anymore. I'm just trying to figure out how to create an arrow. I think it's like, I don't know. I need a mouse. Okay, anyway, D6, yeah, D4. Yeah, again, C3 is more appropriate so that you can play bishop C2 after your bishop gets kicked by B5. But D6, D4, okay, it's an active move. White's pieces are going to get activated. Take, bishop D7, yeah, threatening, well, no threats yet, actually, because knight takes D4 is met with bishop takes D7. So you can castle, you can play knight C3. I think knight C3 is normal. It safeguards D5 square so that black cannot push D5 later. Castle, fair. Knight F6. Rook E1. My instinct is knight C3 because I just stopped D5 for good. But maybe rook E1 is also good because how did I make that arrow? I don't know. Yeah, rook E1 looks good too. D5 is impossible. The rook usually goes to E1 later. It's probably fine. Bishop E7. Take. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then queen D3, queen C4. What's the difference between this position and the actual line where you play queen D3, queen C4 after this kind of structure? Let me go back real quick. So, right, there is line D6 after which you should play D4, take, bishop D7, knight C3, and then knight F6, take, and then castle, bishop E7, queen D3 with idea, queen C4, or even queen A6. Let's check the book here. Maybe it's right away that you... Okay, yeah, bishop takes C6 is not so popular. Right, something like this. Oh yeah, but after this you play queen F3. Yeah, there's some famous games with this line. a very good line for white. I don't know, there was some idea with queen d3, queen c4. But okay, concrete is more important than principle. e5 I don't like because after d takes e5, I have to play my queen somewhere or other move like bishop d2, which is silly, I think, because, yeah, I don't like e5. I think it's not working. You cannot take back after take. What did white do? Maybe queen f3 is interesting. Ah, queen e2. I like queen f3. Attack c6. After queen d7, though, maybe black holds a strong edge because you're going to play bishop d6 and castle. What do I do? Maybe knight c3, bishop d6. Maybe bishop d5. Interesting position. I could... let's see. Maybe bishop d6 not best. Maybe to play queen d6 right away. So that... I don't know. He can not sacrifice on e5 because of back rank issues. I think. Wait, let's look. Maybe this is okay for white actually, because what do? I only have so many concrete options like knight d7 or king f8. I think knight d7 best. No, that maybe. But after bishop, okay, I cannot move this bishop anywhere because b2 is hanging. We could play knight d2 maybe, is interesting. But maybe I can just castle, or I don't know, knight f3 is a bit unpleasant to allow, so let's play queen e1 and then castle. And I guess we are threatening bishop h4. The white bishop cannot be developed unless he plays b3, but there's a threat bishop h4, so we have to retreat the queen. Okay. What to do? I mean, how to evaluate? Okay, because we're pretty deep. Well, okay, white is a pawn up actually, but let's see. Bishop f6 is pretty logical, and it's kind of hard for black, I think. Well, he can play queen e3 though, so maybe let's start with rook e8, because we don't want to trade queens. This queen is a good piece. It's tying down both the knight and the bishop for the time being. Maybe b3 then, bishop f6, rook b1, maybe white is better. Knight e5, no, but then queen e3, no, queen e3, yeah, queen e3. So, okay, maybe white survives and retains an edge, unless we can play rook b1. It makes it impossible to develop the rook, so maybe this is actually not so good for white. My plan is bishop b4, sorry, bishop d4, and maybe knight e5 too, and just target f2, critical point. Yeah, this is unclear position maybe. If queen a8, then just here, and I'm threatening f2, so you don't have time to take. Okay, let's go back. Definitely e5 cannot be good. I think you need first knight c3, or on the other hand, e5 might work after queen f3 idea. And if you casually develop, then black consolidates. Maybe you don't want to allow black to consolidate. I don't know. Because this is a long-term weakness, and this pawn is worse on a6 than on a7. So I think white should be a little better. But yeah, I mean, after queen d3, queen c4, and bishop to f4, rook a1, and e5, I think white is doing better, doing well. e5, yeah, okay, interesting. Queen e2, castle. Okay, in event of queen d6, there's knight c3, maybe knight d2 for knight c4 idea. Maybe castle's okay, but is it necessary to give up the pawn? After bishop d6, black is very active. Interesting. Okay, after bishop d6, queen c3. Knight g4, h3, queen h4, hg4. Is white okay or no? Maybe this line is irrelevant because you can already play... No, sorry, I don't know. I was thinking queen h3 or something. You could. Wait, no, but you can't because h2 hangs. Or maybe you can because the knight gets trapped later. No, that runs into knight f3. How to trap the knight? I mean, there's f4 is interesting. Maybe f4. And I'm threatening take on h2, of course. But if h3, can I play queen h4? Well, there's queen f3 maybe. Or, yeah, queen f3, logical. So maybe knight g4 idea is obsolete. Rook e8. Okay. Bishop d5, take. Queen's position has degraded because now black doesn't have to worry so much about his queen's side being undeveloped. For example, he can already start pressure with rook b8 and fix his queen side. Oh, of course. Yeah, this is better. Take bishop d6, right? Yeah, bishop d6. Okay, yeah, maybe bishop d5 is a mistake. Yeah, rook e1 allows for this tactic with bishop h2. Okay, what to do instead? Maybe to take. Which way to take? Maybe queen to guard c6. Yeah, interesting position. Maybe bishop g5. No, that runs into knight d4 maybe. Knight d4. You cannot do queen e3 because of back rank issues. So bishop g5 loses here. So you need a different move. Maybe knight d2. No, but then after queen e1, there's bishop h2 and queen take. It's interesting, maybe. Rook e8. It's a bit unclear, I think, because the queen is super strong, but yeah, and the king is exposed. But white can pick up material if he likes. I'm not sure. Maybe there's better, but maybe rook e8 is not so good for white, because this bishop is a monster bishop. A bishop g5, take, and now white is busted. A very simple win. Yeah, white resigns because this knight's hanging. Black's king's completely safe. This pawn is also hanging. Yeah, not so easy. Next game. Okay, David's playing white this time. d4, d5, c4, Jagoran, g3. Unusual. Against the Jagoran, I think white should try to acquire an opening advantage early in the game. I don't think g3 helps acquire any advantage, because in the Jagoran, black is trying to strike with e5. And after black achieves e5, he's pretty much okay, because, well, after take, black can play d4, and it's like an Albin counter gambit now. Maybe it transposed, actually. Is e5 best, though? Maybe against g3 it's not. But I know that line after bishop f4, e5 exists even. Even this is fine, because you go knight ge7, knight g6, and you put a bishop on b4. I don't know the theory well enough. You'd have to check book. g3, I mean e5. Maybe black should play this. Take and d4. This is like Alpin, or what am I saying? Albin. I said Alpin like 3 times. I don't know. Okay, maybe e5 is not best, because this transposes into good line of Albin counter gambit for white, and g3 is good in Albin counter gambit. Maybe play, yeah, knight f6 is maybe logical. That was the game move. Knight c3, e5, logical. Yeah, take. Now you should play d4, I think, because it comes with tempo, and then you win e5 later. No, but this is okay. Well, you have to take. Okay, maybe this is bad for black, actually. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, maybe black knows what he's doing. Bishop g2, bishop g4. Can you sack on f2? Knight f g4. King e1 probably. No, I don't think black has good position. Okay. Queen b3, castle, queen takes b7, and queen e7 maybe. Queen takes b7, queen e7 is interesting because you don't lose material after knight d3, and yeah, you would be attacking f2. So maybe this is kind of dangerous for white because he's way behind in development and he has some threats to deal with. So e4 is a practical good choice, I think. Oh right, knight d3, of course. This looks pretty good for black because you attack f2 by force. Why don't you play bishop d4 or even take here, guard c5? Probably take here, or maybe take with the other knight so that you can play queen f6. That looks pretty good for black. Yeah, plus by taking with the 6th knight you would be attacking the rook still. I don't understand bishop d... Oh, you're attacking the queen. Oh, I missed that. Sorry. Don't listen to me. Bishop d1 is way more logical. Yeah, this is... Really, you should be preserving this bishop, I think. But... Okay, maybe I just don't know what's going on. Interesting. Okay. Black wins material, black still has development edge. Black should be clearly better. Okay. Yeah, I mean, after knight g4 you also attack on h2, so white is just busted. But where did he go wrong? Yep, easy win. Okay, where did white go wrong? Let's see real quick. Okay, e4. I think e4 is a mistake, although I think white made mistakes afterwards as well. Like maybe knight a4 is a mistake too, but okay. There's definitely better moves to make than e4. Maybe just bishop f4, or just h3 maybe? h3, bishop h5, maybe knight a4 or something, or no, probably not. g4, bishop g6, and knight f3. And now white has finished kingside development aside from the rook. He's ready to castle. He's a pawn up. I think black has attacking chances still, but I think at least white has some dynamic chances in return. Next game. Okay, this game was short, so I'm not going to analyze it too much. Okay, it's a Slav. Right, g3, e3, because after e4, let's see, b5, e5, knight d5. Yeah, maybe e4 is better than e3. Maybe play a4 is also alternative. I'm not sure. It must be theory though. Yeah, e4 is most common. e3, only one game played. I think no reason not to play, no reason to favor e3 over e4. That's my opinion. I think after this structure, I think, I don't know. I think after knight takes, okay, maybe black is doing well after e takes, and the point is that you castle, play knight somewhere, and then bishop e6, and I think black is doing well. So maybe not e5, but okay, in the database, 9 games with d5. Interesting. b4? Yeah, I don't understand this position. I'm going to check with engine, actually. Because it's important to get this line right. Okay. Yeah, I think a4 is pretty logical, but okay, e4, b5. Yeah, d5's... Okay, how is e5? Right, this looks pretty good for black. Oh, e6 right away. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, but this is also just as good and better according to the engine. I was just worried about this bishop being blocked in. That's why I favored e takes. But okay, maybe this is just too good for black. But okay, after d5, b4, okay, take, because this pawn is quite weak, and so are these pawns, I guess. Yeah, I agree. I slightly prefer white. After knight g4, does knight e4, right? Oh wow, knight d4 because g4 hangs. Yeah, looks like white is fine. But after e3, yeah, I don't like this move. Let's turn off engine. Castle, queen e2, b5, knight d5, attacking c6. How to deal with this threat? Probably take a knight d5. That's what was played, yep. Maybe b5 is not so accurate. Maybe just knight b6. And what does white play? It's hard to win this pawn back. Maybe knight e5. And then maybe he wins it back. Yeah. I think so. Queen e2. What else? Well, okay, b5 is logical because you want to get the bishop out to b7. Knight e5, take, knight d5, okay. Rook d1, probably queen c7 or queen b6. Ah, interesting. You have to take c3. But I don't like this decision by black, and the reason why I say that is because after knight takes c3, you remove this c3 knight, which you want to use as a lever. A lever is a piece or pawn that can be used in order to gain tempo. For example, this knight on c3, you can gain tempo with b4 in the future, advancing your queen side and making it dangerous in the future when it's a good idea. Like when you don't give up a4 square with good prospects for white. I think, yeah, this is not right, but I could be wrong. So take and then queen c7 or queen b6. Okay. Yeah, I like queen b6 immediately. On the other hand, I mean, there's knight can go to e4. So, I'm not so sure. Knight e4. Let's see. Well, Bishop b7, knight d6. Okay, maybe bishop d7 because knight d6 is nothing to fear. Maybe it is, actually. Because of e4 and e5. So maybe e5 right away? No, I don't know. Maybe queen, if you're going to play this way, maybe queen c7, so that you cannot go knight d6 for white, and then just play bishop b7, rook d8 maybe. But honestly, in second, okay, you also attack this actually, so maybe he has to respond to it. Play f4. And now this is kind of interesting. Well, you can play b4, knight e4, bishop a6, or maybe even a5, because after queen take, you have bishop a6, and I think, I don't know, maybe not worth giving up the pawn. Oops, sorry. Oh yeah, I said I wasn't going to spend so much time analyzing this. Sorry about that. Let's see what happened. Rook a3, maybe take on a4, I'm not sure. Queen c5, okay. Oh right, winning e5, of course. But, okay. I think I prefer black's position because of these strong pawns. You can just take on c3 if you want. Yep, that's what was played. Wow. Oh yeah, because a1 hangs. Yeah, taking on b5 is impossible. So black should be much better. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Okay, ghostfacedpatzah05 white this time. QGD. Okay, Carlsbad. Knight f3 is inappropriate because it allows bishop f5. Instead, you should play e3. After e3, black should not do bishop f5 because of queen f3. And the point is, the bishop has to move. Let's say it moves to g6. Now you can take, and after queen take, black's structure is maladaptive in this position. Knight h3, knight f3, or knight e2, or h4 should all grant white a positional advantage. So therefore, knight f3 is not correct, and after bishop d6, when he should have played bishop f5 probably, white can settle for queen c2. And after queen c2, you cannot do bishop f5. You could do bishop g4 though, maybe, but that's probably not the correct idea in this structure. So e3, he should still play bishop f5. But after castle, yeah, queen c2 is appropriate, so is bishop d3. These are both good. Or queen c2, knight d7. Now we get into mainline Carlsbad territory. Okay. Right, bishop h2 not working. a5. Logical, because in a lot of Carlsbad you play rook b1, b4. So a5 is interesting and good idea in a lot of lines of QGD of Carlsbad. Rook c1 seems a bit lazy to me. Maybe let's try to push for e4 maybe. if we push right away, maybe this is good because it's I think white has advantage. The bishop has to retreat, and then you have choices like rook e1 maybe, or knight c5 even, maybe knight c5 to do. Maybe knight c5 is nice, but maybe b6. I'm not so sure. Maybe just rook e1. Rook e1, g5, okay. So maybe take is also an option. And knight e5 is not working, so rook e1 maybe. And the point is, I'm threatening to take after queen e8, play bishop f6, double, damage king's side. So maybe black should play something like bishop d7. And if I take on e8, then take with the bishop. But in this case, I think white should have advantage because I achieve knight e5 if I want. And this bishop is a bit awkward. Let's see. On the other hand, I don't have a forced win. But white should be a little bit better, for sure. Maybe rook e1 here. Okay, rook ac1. Maybe black is still worse, I think. g5, that cannot work. Just why doesn't he just take on g5, I wonder? With the knight maybe, or bishop even. Maybe with bishop, because after knight take, h take, bishop take, there's bishop h2. Let's see. No, I think black is right actually, because you cannot take either way on g5 due to the bishop h2 tactic. I think white needs to play bishop g3. And trading bishops is good for white due to the color of the pawn center. Can't you take on h2? Why not? Okay. I might have to go soon. Queen g5. I think... Let's see. I think black should have advantage because of material and better attack. I don't understand why not bishop h2. If king h1, then bishop can go to b8 even, with idea queen c7 if he wants. And moves like bishop h7 should be harmless in view of king f8. Yeah, I think so. Let's check with engine because I'm not sure how black missed this idea. Yeah. Bishop g5 was colossal blunder. He needed bishop g3. Really, white should be trading off these bishops anyway in this structure. So this is colossal blunder. Okay, but... Okay, let's turn engine off. Knight f8, e4. doesn't help white's case. I think after knight f3, which is best, black should still be better, I agree, because material deficit, this bishop is really strong, and black has the bishop pair, meaning black's attack should be better in this situation. These bishops are active. I'm not sure what's best here, but black should be better. We can try knight g4 maybe, and after h3 maybe... No, I don't know. Not knight g4, but something else like bishop g4 maybe. Maybe black should have advantage. Why though? Let's see. I'm not sure what is best for black here. Well, after bishop g4, bishop e2, there's knight e4. And it looks like black should be much better. e4, yeah. And there's not too much to look at. Black has crazy advantage in this position. You could also play queen h2 first, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, bishop g6. Okay. I wonder what the time, what white's time was, or if he's just throwing moves. Arabian mate, nice. Okay. My computer battery is about to die, so I might have to continue this series later. I'm going to finish with this game for now and then leave. So, d4, OldPalHappy is white. Knight f6, okay. If you're going to play King's Indian style, then you should generally choose between knight fd7 line or Reti idea with c5 and b6. Let's see what black chooses. Knight bd7, right. I don't like this system so much. I think knight fd7 makes more sense. You're preparing to play e5 in the future. If you want proof, I can show a database. Yeah, e5. Very well. Scoring very well for black. It's funny because the engines say white has an advantage, but this line should be pretty good for black. I think Chess Explained did coverage on it in Fighting the London System with the King's Indian style lines. So, okay, knight bd7, knight f3, b6. Okay, fine. b6 is a good idea with c5 in the future. Okay, knight d5 is unnecessary. e5, de5, de5. Okay, maybe black's okay. Maybe c4 is okay, I think. And d5, right? Okay, a5, fine. Let's see. No, I like black better already because this pawn doesn't look so nice. Other than for controlling d5. I prefer black. Okay. Knight c6. Queen e7 probably. Knight d4 probably. Why not knight? Oh, knight d4, rook d4, of course. Oh, no, maybe this is good for black. This should be good for black. For example, no, sorry. I don't think this is good for black. Yeah, knight b4, of course. My thought process after knight d4 was rook d4 and then bishop f3. Looked pretty good for black. But no, of course there's e4 and white is much better. Okay. e4. Why not? e4 look much better for black. Attack b2. Gain space. You cannot. It's hard to say where to put the knight. Maybe bishop h4 is a slight issue though, but you can play f6 if you want. I don't know. Yeah, f6 and knight e1 probably. And then queen, maybe rook d2, or I'm not sure. It's a little unclear, but I still prefer black. Yeah, queen c7, now white can consider e4. Knight d4. That cannot be right. Knight d4 is fanciful. a6, rook a5. Is there direct refutation? Well, I don't think so. I think a6 is best. Okay. You could take, and then after queen b4, play rook d8, but then there's queen a3, bishop f8 maybe, and maybe black is doing well because b2 is hanging, if although a6 is also hanging, but I think black is somewhat better. Wait, no, there's bishop e5. Okay, maybe rook fb8 first is better. I agree. Or sorry, rook db8. I agree. Bishop f8. Okay. Yeah, I don't like this queen c7 move. Not only you don't seize the opportunity to play e4, but you also make it hard to play e4 in the future. An alternative could be f5 maybe. My idea is to somehow prepare f4 because, well, maybe with g5 even, because if black achieves f4, then usually black is already better in this King's Indian line against the London system. Knight c6. Okay. I evaluate black as better probably. f5 or bishop d6. Okay, that also looks pretty good. Oh, right, hanging. Yeah, you cannot hang e5. Maybe play bishop d6 first? I think so. But maybe queen a3. No, knight b4. Knight b4. So, yeah, bishop d6 first. Can you play knight d7? Maybe. That's interesting to me. Okay, knight f6. You cannot play king g7 because of knight e8 check. So king h8 or king f8, probably king h8. No, but then you run into this line, which is interesting. Let's see. Let's take here, maybe? Do we have good tactics? Maybe rook d1, idea bishop g3, and, well, I cannot do rook d7, so hold on. Do I have any tactics? Well, knight d7. Alright, I think black is doing well. I don't know. You cannot take. So, because of Queen f8, of course. I'm not sure. Maybe to play. Yeah, knight d7 is interesting, but let's see queen a8. It's also interesting. Queen e4, okay. Knight c6. Well, now you have only heavy pieces, so I think it's unclear. Obviously, white is playing for a win now.